Hello, everybody. So, the Premier League starts again for Manchester United. So, for the first match, we're facing Fulham at Old Trafford on Friday at 9 p.m. Central European Time. So, let's get into the match preview. So, let's see how Fulham are going to be set up. Marco Silva usually sets them up in a 4-2-3-1 formation. Leno at goal, Robinson as left back, and Tete as right back, and the central defense is going to be taken up by Bassey and Diop. Um, and then the two midfielders will be a Lukic and Emil Smith Rowe. And then the attacking midfield is going to be taken up by Andreas Pereira, an ex Man United player. The wings on the left side, it's going to be Adama Traore, and on the right hand side, it's going to be Alex Iobi. And the striking position is going to be taken up by Muniz. Historically, the defensive midfield position is taken up by Paulinho, but with Paulina leaving to Bayern Munich and then Emil Smith Rowe joining from Arsenal, their tactics in the preseason has been a bit more fluid. So instead of being a lot more defensive, they have moved a bit more aggressive, with Lukic becoming the defensive midfield, and Smith Rowe and Pereira forming the double pivot up top. The key success factor for Fulham is winning the ball in the second third, so in the midfield. Both their wingers, Traore and IOB, they are extremely physical and fast paced. So what happens usually is they tuck in, and then they have a number superiority in the midfield with like five players, and then as soon as they win the ball, they transition real quickly with the aggressive pace they have on either sides of their wing. So that's the key success factor for them. And when they get that ball and make that transition, they make it real quick. Emil Smith Rowe and Andres Pereira start tracking them, tracking the wingers, and then both Tete and Robinson provide the overlapping runs. So it opens up better angles, better passes for Traore and Iobi, um, who are the key players who can penetrate the defense, hold the ball, and let the players around them take shots at opposition as well. The key player for them is going to be Emil Smith Rowe. Um, he's Since he's moved to Fulham, in the two preseason games, he has scored two goals. He's taken a load off Andres Pereira as well, because Pereira used to be the creative outlet for Fulham, but now with Emil Smith Rowe, the responsibility is shared. He's a lot more fluid on the left hand side, and Robinson, Traore, and Emil Smith Rowe, they make a really good combination attack on the left side. And he also supports Pereira and Iobi on the right hand side. Um, so he is the player to watch out for. Now, looking into United, I think we're going to be set up in our usual 4-2-3-1, but I'm going to be a bit bold with my prediction. So it's going to be Onana at goal, Dallo at left back, Martinez and Delict as center defenders, and Mazroi at right back. Um, the 6 and 8 positions are going to be held by Mainu and Casemiro, and it's going to be Bruno as attacking midfield. On the left hand side, it's not going to be Rashford, but I think it's going to be Garnacho. And on the right side, right wing, it's going to be Amad Diallo. Up top as a striker, it's going to be Joshua Zirkzee. My prediction is that the new Dutch contingent is going to play because Hoyland is injured. There's no other striker, so Xerxes is the only available striker, and there are no fullbacks other than Dallo as well. So either Dallo or Mazroi have to play on the left back, and my prediction is Mazroi on the right because he's new to the team. He might not know the entire system, so it is easier to play in a position he's a lot more familiar with. So he's going to play on the right back position. And of course, Delict is definitely an upgrade to Evans and Maguire. So I think the all three of them are going to get an opportunity. The same goes for the attacking front. So out of Amad Diallo, Garnacho, and Marcus Rashford, there's only two players who can play. Um, and my guess is that because Ahmad has been playing really well, especially on the Community Shield, whatever happened in the first 60 minutes happened on the right hand side through him. So he's in a good form. So Tenag might not want to disrupt that. So Ahmad is still going to play on the right side, whereas Marcus, he's had a very not so great preseason. He hasn't lit the preseason on fire. Um, so he didn't play at the Euros. The preseason, I think he had an assist or and a penalty goal or something like that. Whereas Garnacho, he had a good Copa America, and then he came back in the Community Shield. He scored, so he's looking fresh. He's hungry, so maybe he's gonna be given the chance on the left wing. As mentioned before, the key battle is gonna happen over the midfield. How we are gonna battle it out with the midfield of Fulham. So it's gonna be a 5-on-5 battle. So I'm curious how it's gonna end up. But at the same time, the key success factor for us is going to come from how dynamic and fluid our top line is going to be. You can clearly see from the image above there are different variations that we can use. So if so, for example, Xerxes comes down and joins the attack as like more like a 10 or a 9.5, how he called it. And then Garnacho and Ahmad are higher on the pitch. If Dallo is inverting on the left hand side, then Bruno can move a little towards the right hand, towards the right wing position to give that width as well. Else, if for example, Xerxes doesn't want to go to the 10 position, but he still wants to be in a striking position within the box, then maybe Ahmad can stay higher up on the midfield and provide those crosses to Garnacho, Bruno, and Xerxes, um, and Bruno will be in the 10 position. Or the other alternative is Mazroi on the right hand side joining the attack and giving that overlapping runs and either giving an overlapping run or going into the inverted position, and Xerxes taking up the box on the left hand side and Bruno still being on the number 10 position and Garnacho giving the width on the left hand side. So the key for us is being extremely fluid among the top four, five positions. The key player for Man United is going to be Joshua Zirkzee because he's going to drop down and pull, for example, Diop and Passy from away from their position. So it's going to make Garnacho and Ahmad more direct, and he's also good at passing the balls to them, finding those lines. He's physical, and he brings that fluidity to the top four positions. So along with Bruno, Garnacho, and Diallo, so his fluidity is going to be the key for us to succeed, and this is a different um, skill set that we haven't seen with United last season, especially with Marshall injured and Hoyland being a very direct and pacey forward. He doesn't have the same skill sets as Xerxes. So I'm really looking forward to Xerxes playing in this position and bringing in that fluidity. My prediction for the game is going to be 2-0 United. So there's a lot of momentum with United, new manager, Ineos. having a fantastic transfer season, and people are excited about the season. So I am going for 2-0 United. If you like the video, please click the like button. Also, do you think these predictions are right? Drop down your comments in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel and see you in the next one. Bye bye.